Welcome back to my channel, HFY Story Studio. The room fell silent. 7 alien judges stared at the tiny human girl standing alone in the center of the galactic combat arena. Around her, thousands of spectators whispered the same sentence in dozens of different languages. This will be over in seconds. They were right. It was over in 7 seconds. But not in the way anyone expected. The champion of the Orion Dominion, an 8-foot-tall warrior whose name had become a symbol of fear across 300 star systems, never even managed to land a single strike. The giant collapsed. The arena's sensors froze. The AI referees stopped calculating. And for the first time in recorded galactic history, the audience witnessed something they had never believed possible. A human had defeated the strongest warrior in the galaxy before most cameras could even focus. No one understood how, except one old man, because 70 years earlier, on a forgotten farm hidden among the forests of Earth, an old grandfather had quietly smiled and said, "Strength is loud, skill is silent." Long before humanity became a respected member of the Galactic Alliance, Earth was considered insignificant. The great civilizations measured power with star fleets, planet-killing weapons, and armies numbering in the billions. Humans had none of those. Their ships were average. Their technology lagged behind. Their colonies were few. To the rest of the galaxy, humanity survived only because stronger empires simply didn't care enough to conquer them. But there was one thing no scanner could measure. One thing no AI could calculate. Human experience. On a peaceful farm in northern Canada lived 78-year-old Elias Carter, a retired military instructor who had refused every prestigious job the Earth Defense Council ever offered. Instead of training elite soldiers, he spent his days repairing fences, feeding horses, fixing old machines, and raising his granddaughter. Her name was Emma. She was 6 years old when she first asked him, "Grandpa, why don't you teach soldiers anymore?" Elias smiled without looking up from the broken tractor engine. "Because soldiers already know how to fight." Emma frowned. "Then who needs teaching?" He wiped grease from his hands. "Someone who doesn't know how strong they can become." From that day forward, every morning began before sunrise. Not with weapons, not with combat, but with work. Carry the water, repair the roof, stack the firewood, plant vegetables, clean the tools, walk 10 kilometers through the forest. Emma complained constantly. "Why can't we train like everyone else?" Elias laughed. "Because everyone else trains to win." She crossed her arms. "And us? We train so losing becomes impossible." She didn't understand. Not yet. Years passed. While children across Earth learned advanced combat simulations using holographic technology, Emma learned balance by walking across fallen tree trunks during rainstorms, while cadets practiced laser rifles. She learned patience by sitting silently beside a river for hours, watching fish move beneath the surface. While military academies praised speed, her grandfather corrected breathing. Again, thousands of times. Every movement had purpose. Every mistake had a lesson. Every failure became tomorrow's advantage. One afternoon, when Emma turned 13, she finally exploded. "This makes no sense." She threw a wooden practice stick onto the ground. "I've never fought anyone." Elias calmly picked it up. "You fight every day." She looked confused. "No, I don't." He pointed toward the mountain. "You fought that climb, then toward the freezing river. You fought the cold, then toward her own chest. And every morning, you fight the voice that says, 'Not today.'" Emma stayed quiet. Her grandfather looked directly into her eyes. "The strongest enemy you'll ever defeat lives right here." He gently tapped her forehead. "Beat that one first." By the time Emma reached 19, she had never entered a tournament, never worn military armor, never earned medals. To outsiders, she looked completely ordinary, exactly as Elias intended, because predators never fear what appears harmless. Then, everything changed. A massive alien fleet arrived in Earth's orbit, not to invade, to recruit. The Galactic Alliance had announced the largest interstellar defense initiative in history. Every member civilization would send one representative to compete in the Trials of Unity. The winner would become commander of the Alliance's elite response force. Every government rushed to nominate decorated heroes. Earth selected its most famous generals, its strongest enhanced soldiers, its greatest tactical minds. Every candidate failed the preliminary evaluations, not because they were weak, but because the Alliance wasn't looking for power. It was looking for adaptability. Weeks before the final deadline, Earth still had no representative. Government officials panicked. Military leaders argued. Scientistes cherchent une possible solution. Meanwhile, Emma quietly repaired a broken fence while her grandfather watched the sunset. Neither of them knew. A single visitor was already on the way, and that visitor would change not only Emma's life, but the future of the entire galaxy. End of. The shuttle landed without warning. It didn't roar through the sky or shake the ground. It simply appeared above the Carter farm, silent as a shadow, its silver hull reflecting the orange light of the setting sun. Emma looked up from a fence she was repairing. Her grandfather didn't. He continued tightening a rusted bolt as if strange spacecraft visited every afternoon. A few seconds later, the hatch opened. A tall alien wearing the blue insignia of the Galactic Alliance stepped onto the grass. Behind him followed two armored security officers and a floating reconnaissance drone. The alien scanned the old man. Retired Commander Elias Carter? Elias nodded. That title belongs to another life. The alien smiled politely. Some titles never disappear. Emma stepped closer, confused. Grandpa, who are they? Elias sighed. The past. The visitor introduced himself as Ambassador Corinne, one of the Alliance's senior military observers. We've reviewed every human candidate. He paused. They all failed. Emma frowned. So why come here? Corinne looked directly at Elias. Because every classified report from 40 years ago ends with the same sentence. He activated a hologram. Training methodology developed by Commander Elias Carter remains impossible to replicate. Emma blinked. She had spent her entire life believing her grandfather was just an old farmer. Now she was staring at military files marked top secret. You never told me. Elias smiled. You never asked. Corin folded his hands behind his back. The Alliance believes Earth has one final chance. He turned toward Emma. Your granddaughter. Emma almost laughed. Me? I've never been in a real battle. Exactly, Corin replied. You have no bad habits. Elias finally stood. You've been watching her. For 16 years. Emma stared at both of them. You've been what? Karen nodded. The weather satellites above this region are not weather satellites. Emma's mouth fell open. You monitored me my entire life? We observed. We never interfered. Elias wasn't surprised. I wondered how long it would take. Corin projected another hologram. It showed hundreds of elite warriors from dozens of species competing in impossible combat simulations. Names flashed across the screen. Champion, generals, living legends. Then one name appeared larger than all the others. General Varkon, 7-time undefeated champion. 0 recorded defeats. Victory rate, 100%. Average duel duration, 11.3 seconds. Emma stared at the enormous warrior on the screen. He's huge. He outweighs you by almost 400 kilograms. And you want me to fight him? If you qualify. Emma looked at her grandfather. For the first time in years, she saw something unusual in his face. Not fear, not worry. Pride. You've always wondered why I trained you this way, Elias said quietly. She nodded. This is why. The next morning, Emma boarded the Alliance shuttle. She expected emotional goodbyes. There weren't any. Instead, Elias handed her an old wooden practice stick, the same one she had thrown away years ago. She smiled. You kept it. I keep everything worth remembering. She hugged him tightly. What if I lose? He leaned close enough for only her to hear. If you remember your training, you already can't. The journey to Alliance headquarters took 6 days through hyperspace. Emma spent most of the trip watching recordings of alien fighting styles. Power, speed, energy weapons, advanced armor. Every civilization relied on superior technology. She noticed something strange. Nobody paid attention to small details. Foot placement, balance, breathing, tiny movements. The things her grandfather had corrected thousands of times. No one else seemed to value. She smiled. Maybe the old man wasn't crazy after all. Alliance headquarters was unlike anything she had imagined. A station the size of a moon floated above a blue gas giant. Ships from thousands of civilizations arrived every hour. Every corridor buzzed with different languages. Emma suddenly felt very human, very small, very alone. A towering reptilian warrior walked past and laughed. "That's Earth's representative?" Another snorted. "I thought humans sent soldiers." Emma ignored them. Her grandfather had warned her long ago. Never waste energy proving strangers wrong. Let reality do it for you. The qualification trials began the following morning. More than 400 competitors entered the central arena. Only 16 would advance. The first challenge wasn't combat. It was observation. Each contestant entered a room filled with moving machines, shifting walls, flashing lights, and hidden dangers. Most rushed forward. Emma didn't move. She simply watched. 30 seconds. 1 minute. 2 minutes. The judges whispered. Has she frozen? No. One elderly judge smiled. She's studying. Emma remembered a rainy afternoon years ago. She had tried crossing a slippery log too quickly and fallen into the river. Her grandfather hadn't helped her out. Instead, he had said, "The obstacle isn't moving. You are. Learn who should change first." Emma finally took one step, then another. She glided through the maze without touching a single obstacle. Not because she was faster, but because she moved only when movement was necessary. When the timer stopped, the arena AI announced, "Perfect score." Silence spread across the observation deck. One judge checked the system twice. Another checked it a third time. The result didn't change. No contestant had ever achieved perfection in the first trial. Across the room, hidden behind mirrored glass, General Varkon watched the replay. His massive arms folded across his chest. For the first time in years, the undefeated champion frowned. He didn't know the human girl's name, but something about the way she moved reminded him of an ancient warning his own master had given him decades earlier. Fear the opponent who never looks hurried. And for the first time in a very long time, General Varkon felt something he had almost forgotten. Curiosity. Emma's perfect score spread through Alliance headquarters within hours. Some called it luck. Others blamed a malfunction in the arena's AI. A few judges insisted the human had discovered a flaw in the test. Only one person disagreed, General Varkon. He watched the replay again and again, then he slowed it to 1/10 speed. Emma wasn't reacting to the obstacles. She was predicting them. Every step was taken before danger even appeared. Varkon leaned back in silence. Interesting. The second trial began the next morning. This one was simple, or so everyone believed. Each contestant would face 3 combat drones programmed to adapt to the fighter style. Most competitors attacked immediately. The drones adapted. The battles grew longer. Some contestants barely survived. Emma stepped into the arena carrying nothing except the old wooden practice stick her grandfather had given her. The spectators laughed. A stick. Humans really came unprepared. The match will last 5 seconds. The countdown reached 0. The first drone charged. Emma didn't attack. She stepped half a pace to the left. The drone flew past. Before it could turn, Tulp. One light strike to a tiny sensor beneath its shoulder. The machine shut down instantly. Gasps echoed through the arena. The second drone fired a burst of plasma. Emma didn't run. She walked. Each blast missed her by centimeters. It looked impossible. The commentators fell silent. Another gentle strike. The second drone collapsed. The third machine activated its learning protocol. Instead of attacking, it waited. It had realized direct assaults wouldn't work. Emma smiled. "So you learned." The drone circled her slowly. Then it attacked from 4 directions using holographic decoys. Most fighters would have aimed at the copies. Emma closed her eyes. The audience erupted. Has she given up? No. She was listening. The real drone made the faintest vibration as its stabilizers adjusted. Emma heard it. Without opening her eyes, she spun once. Crack! The wooden stick touched the drone's central processor. The machine dropped lifelessly to the floor. Time, 14.8 seconds. A new arena record. High above the arena, the judges exchanged uneasy glances. Judge Zyrell spoke first. Commander Carter's training methods. Another judge finished the sentence. Weren't myths. Back on Earth, Elias Carter sat on his old porch with a cup of coffee. A small radio played soft music. His neighbor waved from across the road. Elias, yes. I heard your granddaughter is fighting aliens now. Elias smiled. They're not fighting her. The neighbor laughed. What? They just don't know it yet. By the evening, only 16 competitors remained. Emma was one of them. The tournament bracket appeared above the arena, one name after another, until everyone noticed something. Emma's path led directly to General Varkon in the semifinals. The crowd erupted. She's finished. No human survives Varkon. He'll crush her. Emma quietly looked at the bracket, then walked away without saying a word. That night, she couldn't sleep. She found herself sitting alone beneath the station's enormous observation dome, staring at the stars. A familiar voice interrupted the silence. Couldn't sleep either? It was Varkon. Without his battle armor, he looked older, less like a monster, more like a veteran carrying too many memories. He sat several meters away. I watched your matches. Emma smiled politely. So did half the station. No, Varkon shook his head. I actually watched. He paused. Who trained you? My grandfather. Varkon nodded slowly. I thought so. Emma looked surprised. You know him? No, but I know warriors. Silence settled between them. Finally, Varkon spoke again. My master once told me that real strength hides itself. He looked at Emma. When I watched you today, I remembered those words. For a moment, neither of them felt like enemies. Just two students shaped by great teachers. The quarterfinal arrived. Emma's opponent was Kairos, a towering warrior famous for overwhelming his enemies with raw force. The crowd expected another quick human defeat. The bell rang. Kairos charged with a roar that shook the arena. Emma stood perfectly still. At the last possible instant, she stepped aside. Kairos' own momentum carried him straight into the reinforced arena wall. The impact cracked the armor on his shoulder. Before he could recover, Emma gently touched 2 pressure points on his suit. The emergency safety system interpreted the readings as a catastrophic injury. The armor locked itself. Kairos couldn't move. Winner, Emma Carter. The audience stared in disbelief. She hadn't overpowered him. She had outthought him. As Emma left the arena, a young Alliance cadet ran toward her. Miss Carter. She turned. The cadet looked nervous. I was asked to give you this. He handed her a tiny sealed package. Inside was a single handwritten note. Emma recognized the handwriting immediately. Her grandfather's. It contained only one sentence. The loudest victory is the one that needs no celebration. Emma folded the note carefully and slipped it into her pocket. She smiled. Tomorrow, she would face the undefeated champion. And somewhere, on a quiet farm millions of light years away, an old grandfather was already certain of the outcome. The arena had never been this full. Representatives from hundreds of civilizations packed every seat. News drones floated through the air, broadcasting the semi-final across the galaxy. The headlines all said the same thing. The human miracle ends today. General Varkon entered first. The ground trembled beneath his footsteps. His armor, forged from neutron alloy, carried the marks of 100 victorious campaigns. Across his broad chest gleamed 7 gold stars, one for each galactic championship he had won. The crowd erupted. Varkon! 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 Then the opposite gate opened. Emma Carter walked into the arena, carrying nothing except the same old wooden practice stick. The cheering faded into confused whispers. She actually brought it again? Against Varkon? Is she serious? Emma didn't look at the audience. She only looked at her opponent. Varkon nodded respectfully. I've been waiting for this. Emma smiled. So have I. The referee floated between them. Combat rules remain unchanged. No lethal force. No outside assistance. The match ends by surrender, incapacitation, or arena decision. He raised his hand. Begin. Varkan didn't attack. Neither did Emma. 10 seconds passed. Then 20. The audience grew restless. What are they doing? They're just standing there. The commentators were equally confused, until one elderly judge spoke quietly. They're reading each other. Varkan finally moved, not with a reckless charge, but with a slow, precise step. Emma mirrored him. Another step. Another. The duel had become a conversation without words. Each movement was a question. Each response was an answer. Suddenly, Varkan exploded forward with astonishing speed. His massive fist cut through the air like a missile. Emma tilted her head by barely an inch. The punch missed. A shockwave rippled across the arena. Before anyone could blink, 3 more strikes. Emma avoided every one of them with movements so small they almost looked effortless. The audience gasped. She's dancing. No, an Alliance combat instructor shook his head. She's wasting absolutely no motion. Varkan smiled. At last, someone understood. He increased his speed. The attacks became impossible for ordinary eyes to follow. The arena AI projected glowing trails just so spectators could see what was happening. Emma still wasn't attacking. She was waiting, exactly as her grandfather had taught her. Most battles are decided by the first mistake. Don't rush to make the second. Then it happened. For less than a heartbeat, Varkan's front foot landed half an inch farther than intended. No one noticed. Not the crowd. Not the judges. Not even Varkan himself. Except Emma. Her eyes sharpened. There. One step. One turn. One precise strike with a wooden stick against the tiny control node behind Varkan's armored knee. The impact wasn't powerful. It didn't need to be. The locking mechanism inside the armor activated at the wrong moment. Varkan's balance disappeared. The undefeated champion dropped to one knee. Silence swallowed the arena. Emma stepped back instead of pressing the attack. Varkan looked up. You saw it. Emma nodded. My grandfather taught me that every fortress has a door. Varkan laughed. A deep, genuine laugh. No, he said while rising slowly. He taught you where to look. The match continued for another minute. Neither fighter wasted movement. Neither fought with anger. Every exchange looked less like violence and more like a masterclass. Finally, Varkan lowered his fists. The referee looked confused. General, Varkan took a deep breath. I surrender. The arena froze. No one spoke. No one even breathed. The undefeated champion had surrendered. Not because he couldn't continue, because he knew he had already been outmatched. The referee's voice echoed through the stadium. Winner, Emma Carter of Earth. The audience erupted into complete chaos. Backstage, reporters surrounded Varkan. Why surrender? You were still standing. You've never surrendered before. Varkan answered calmly. When a student surpasses the lesson, the wise teacher stops pretending otherwise. One reporter frowned. But she's younger, smaller, weaker. Varkan smiled. No, she simply understands something the rest of us forgot. What? He looked toward the arena, where Emma was quietly thanking the officials instead of celebrating. Power impresses people. Mastery changes history. As Emma walked toward the championship arena, her communicator vibrated. A message from Earth. Only one line. From her grandfather. Remember, 7 seconds is a very long time for someone who is already prepared. Emma read the message twice. She smiled softly. Tomorrow, the final battle would begin, and neither the Galactic Alliance nor the countless civilizations watching across the stars had any idea that the greatest lesson Elias Carter had ever taught hadn't even been revealed yet. The Galactic Championship final became the single most watched event in recorded history. More than 12,000 inhabited worlds tuned in. Schools paused their classes. Military academies delayed training. Even rival empires, which rarely agreed on anything, watched the same broadcast. Not because they cared about the championship, because they wanted to understand one question. How had an ordinary human defeated the greatest warriors in the galaxy? Emma stood quietly inside the preparation room. She wasn't stretching. She wasn't meditating. She simply held the old wooden practice stick in her hands. An Alliance officer approached. Nervous? Emma smiled. A little. The officer laughed. I've watched every one of your matches. You never look nervous. My grandfather taught me something. What? He said courage isn't the absence of fear. It's deciding that fear doesn't get to make the next decision. The officer nodded slowly. I think I understand why you keep winning. Emma shook her head. No, I keep winning because he spent 20 years making sure I learned from every mistake before it mattered. The arena gates opened. This wasn't a normal final. The Alliance Council had prepared one last challenge. Instead of facing a single opponent, Emma would face the Guardian Trial, a classified combat system that had never been defeated. The massive doors slowly opened. A 12-meter-tall, autonomous battle machine walked into the arena, forged using technology from dozens of civilizations. It analyzed over 1 trillion combat possibilities every second. One commentator whispered, "No living fighter has ever passed this trial." Another replied, "Then today won't be different." The countdown began. 3. Emma took one slow breath. She remembered a freezing winter morning on Earth. Her grandfather had made her stand perfectly still in the snow for an hour. She had complained, "I can't feel my hands." Elias had smiled. "You don't need comfortable hands. You need a calm mind." 2. She remembered repairing fences, carrying water, walking through storms, falling, standing, trying again. Thousands of ordinary days, days that had never seemed important. Until now. 1. The battle machine attacked. The first strike could have crushed a starship. Emma wasn't there. She had already moved. Not fast. Early. The second attack split the arena floor. She wasn't there either. The AI increased its prediction speed. It calculated every possible escape route, every possible counterattack, probability after probability. Emma did something impossible. She chose the one option the machine ranked as impossible because no rational fighter would ever attempt it. She walked directly toward the machine. Warning alarms echoed through the arena. The AI recalculated. Too late. Emma slipped beneath the Guardian's massive arm. One precise strike. Not at the weapon, not at the armor. At a tiny maintenance access panel no larger than a coin. The Guardian staggered. The AI attempted recovery. Emma struck again. For the first time in Alliance history, every species stood together to honor a single warrior. Days later, Emma returned to Earth. No parade had been arranged. No massive celebration. She found her grandfather repairing the same old fence. He looked up. "You're late." Emma laughed. "I became champion of the galaxy." "I know. You watched." "No." Emma looked surprised. "You didn't." Elias shrugged. "I already knew how it ended." She smiled and handed him the champion's emblem. He looked at it for only a second before placing it on a nearby table. "It'll collect dust there." Emma laughed. "You really don't care about trophies, do you?" Elias picked up his hammer. "Trophies remind people what they did yesterday. I'd rather know what you'll do tomorrow." Months later, military academies across the galaxy completely rewrote their training programs. Advanced technology remained important, but now, cadets learned patience, observation, discipline, humility. And one famous human lesson became required reading in every Alliance academy. It was engraved beneath a simple image of an old wooden practice stick. Strength may win a battle. Wisdom wins the future. Years later, when people asked Emma how she defeated impossible enemies in only 7 seconds, she always gave the same answer. It wasn't 7 seconds. It was 20 years. And one grandfather who refused to let me become strong before I learned how to become wise.